Hey everybody, Drew here, and this is a 2017 Toyota Prius. This is going to apply to 2016 to 2022 models, unless of course they fix this horrible problem. There is a rattle that comes from like right here in the dashboard, just from the movement of the tires going down the road, or if the engine's running at a stoplight. It's just a horrible rattle right here. So I'm going to show you guys what it is. Basically what we've got to do, we've got to take off the dashboard, the top piece here. And to do that, we got to get into these guys, which are a little bit tricky. There's a clip in there you're going to have to know about, but we're going to get inside there, we're going to figure out what's rattling, and we're going to fix it. First thing you're going to want to do is pop your hood, and it's awesome. They finally moved the battery to the engine bay. If you know Prius, for years and years and years, they have been in the back. Well, this one is under the hood where it belongs, in my humble opinion. Not sure how they got more room under here. It looks like because the inverter is much smaller and much more effective. Anyways, so go ahead and disconnect your negative terminal there. It's just a 10 millimeter. And then we are going to tear apart the dash. To get off the side moldings here, I've already got this one started. You just pull back the rubber and it'll let you get behind right here. And then I've already got this one out, but you see these guys here? These tabs are designed so this thing doesn't fly off and whack you in the face if you get in an accident when the airbag goes off. So they twist 90 degrees. So the trick is, these ones are a little bit more difficult than the older ones. It also doesn't help that this one's already bent, but there's a slot. You want to put it, you want to turn it so it's the same direction as the slot, and then it should pop right out for you. There are clips. They're the same style that hold on your bumper, splash shields and stuff on the bottom. The type, you put a screwdriver in them to get them out. So there's one of those there, and there's also one on the other side. That one's already out. Now to get the dashboard out, you literally just grab it like here, and you kind of wiggle and pull. It's tough to do with one hand here, toward you. So this dash, maybe you pop this corner a little bit. There we go. You pull it toward you like that. So as you see, all of these clips, they're at this exact angle. They're not straight in, they're not down. You do not pull this dash up. The clips are at just a couple degree angle down. It helps if you pop the corner and then grab it like that. And of course, installation is the reverse of that. But now once you're in here, you see that big white harness? That one doesn't do anything, but the big one in the back, that's got to be unplugged. And then this gray harness, which is right there. Looks like my finger's touching it. Well, took it out of focus. There, right there. That guy's tough. We're going to go over that in detail. And then it's also a bit difficult to get the vent, which you cannot see, but you'll know what I mean when you're in there. There's a vent that comes from here and comes back, and it's underneath the plastic for that, that holds that harness in place just a little bit. So you kind of want to get up underneath there and lift kind of like toward the windshield. It's tough. It's not easy, but you will get it once you see what I mean. Just be gentle and don't break anything. But yeah, the two clips there, and then you literally just, I'd say pop the corner, but nothing else, and then just grab and pull and you're good. There's a little gray right there. See it? My finger's touching it. No, it's not. That's up inside the dash, and it plugs into the back of this one that is taped. And it has one of these clips here with the spring-loaded sides that goes in there. You can see it much better. Just underneath that gray connector, there's a hole right in here. My finger's literally on it, right? This goes up onto the top of that piece of plastic and down through the hole after you clip it here. That's your, I believe that's your FM antenna. So you've got to pull out this gray antenna cable. It'll make much more sense once you have the dash fully out to see where it goes, but it's routed in like a little cavern underneath to where that plug was. And the other thing you got to watch out for is these two harnesses here are part of a big wire set that you don't want to have hooked. It's kind of like in a recess on the top dash part. But then once you've got that free, it just kind of comes out. Okay, now I have this piece off, the lower part of the dash that goes over the cluster. All you do to get that out is you pull it toward you, not up, not down, like toward you, right? You don't have to take that out. I was just trying to figure out how to get this vent to clear like that whole plastic panel with these clips on it. And really the way to do it is get your hand like literally over the clip, underneath the vent, and lift it in the back. So it's still against the windshield, and you want to lift it up as high as you can and come out. You're going to have to bow. So like if the dashboard is, you know, like this, you're going to have to like bow it a little bit to get the wings to clear. But it is out, and our issue is this thing. So I have to take this apart and figure out why. By the way, this better explains. That guy goes in there, right? And this wire, the one that's sticking up right there, it goes through in here. It's pretty easy to see. Not easy to film, but easy to see. There you go. So it just goes in there. The two get plugged together, and it snaps in right there. Easy peasy. So got to figure out exactly why this guy rattles and go from there. It's a pleasantly simple issue here. So what it is, underneath there is this gizmo. It's I believe it's the GPS antenna. I don't think it's the FM antenna. Whatever, it doesn't matter what it is. It's rattling. This is going to be simple. So what we're going to do is you unscrew. There's a Phillips head here. There's a Phillips head here. You take those off. Then there's a Phillips in there, and a Phillips in there, and then a Phillips in there. And that takes off this vent. So we're going to set that aside, and you've got this guy. So this is the antenna assembly. Phillips, Phillips, and it's pretty easy. So at first I thought it was this. You could hear in the car, by the way, that literally this is the exact location of said rattle. And when I do this, you guys who have this issue are going to hear exactly what I mean. That's exactly what you're hearing rattle. So what we're going to do is just simply you put a little pressure here. So it has the letter G on it, which maybe it is GPS, right? So you've got tabs on this side. You've got grooves on this side. You're going to put pressure here with your thumb and lift that bad boy off. That is said antenna gizmo. And what we're going to do is we're going to put a little piece of double-sided tape right here. And all that's going to do is it's going to create pressure underneath this guy. And maybe possibly a little piece of electrical tape here too, but not the double-sided tape. This stuff here, I've grabbed a piece of it. It's Gorilla two-sided tape. All I'm going to do is put a piece of it there to create pressure, maybe a small piece of it or a piece of electrical tape here, and then I'm going to tap on that and make sure that it doesn't rattle anymore and throw it back together. There's two little pieces of double-sided tape, Gorilla tape. Kind of difficult to get to stick because it's like 30 degrees out, but they are on there, and their job is just to create a pad, not to make anything actually stick. It's not mounting anything. So I'm going to put this back on. Again, these guys go in those, and then these little tabs here go in those, and then I'm going to tap it, and we'll see if it stops rattling. Okay, so it was a tight fit getting it on there, but it stopped the rattle. That's what we wanted, was a tight fit. Create some pressure. Make sure everything is obviously clipped back together, which in my case it is. You don't want to create so much pressure that it doesn't clip together, but you get the idea. This cover was the culprit all along. Easy fix, I'd say. The car is ice cold, so it has nothing to do with the engine, but obviously engines run a little bit higher in RPMs when they're cold as they are warming up, and that's just slight vibration. I don't even want to call it that. I mean, you can't tell the engine's running in this car, but any vibration, the engine, the road, just rolling down a hill, it makes that thing buzz like crazy. So I'm going to put it back together, fire up the car, and then take it for a test drive. Don't forget that you've got to kind of lift up on the vent and push it back so it clears that clip that it's currently sitting on. And we also have to put this little guy here into the side of the dash and make sure that it's plugged into this harness here, and then this guy here is in the hole for it, which is right there. All right, so we are in the car. It's running. It's running a little bit high because it's cold out and the motor hasn't run in like 2 days. So right now it should be like bzzz, just buzzing horrible, and it's not. I'm gonna take it out on the road and make sure it's still not, but I'm calling this a success. For free. All right, so now that we're off of the side road my neighborhood's on and on a main road, I can tell you already this is a confirmed fix. It's silent. I mean, the buzzing, the horrible rattling and buzzing sound that it was making up until then, I don't know how the previous owner lived with it. Maybe that's why they traded it in, because the car showed up perfect other than that. But yeah, this is a confirmed fix. So hey, I'm Drew. This has been a video on how to tear into the dash and fix the awful rattling sound from the antenna assembly. Hopefully this was helpful. If it is, give it a thumbs up. Hey, maybe you just watched it for entertainment's sake. If it was entertaining, give it a thumbs up, please. And if you like what you saw, subscribe to the channel, because that's what we're all about, just helping you guys fix stuff the easy way. Not about cutting corners, not about doing things incorrectly, but finding faster, more efficient ways to do them the right way. So if that's something you're into, go ahead and subscribe. Hey, and make sure to click that bell button so you're notified when we load more videos. There's a lot of content on here about Prius. So again, I'm Drew, and thanks for your time.